In this video, we are going to give you a very candid look at a full installation of one of our pools here at River Pools, Virginia. We start in this beautiful bare backyard, and the first thing we want to do is lay the pool off. We want to get it staked out so we can make sure it's in the right spot for you. We bring in stone for the installation. This stone is used under the pool. It's also used around the outside of the pool as backfill material. This stone is also great because it prevents settlement. It also allows water to drain and move beneath the pool. This area is where the pump and filter system is going to go. And now we are digging the trench that connects the plumbing between the pump and filter system and the swimming pool. This allows the water to be circulated, cleaned, chlorinated, filtered, and heated so that you can enjoy your pool. Now we're starting to excavate the pool hole. It's important that we get this excavation just right so that we can get the pool shell nice and level. You can see we're plumbing the equipment pad, so the pump, the filter, the heater, you get a saltwater system, all that's located in this area, usually within about 50 to 75 feet from the pool shell. It's important that all these connections are made watertight. It's also important that they do a nice, neat, and clean job, and that each plumbing pipe is level and plumb and secure so that it will last for many, many years to come. As they go through this process, as they complete the plumbing of the filter system, they will pressure test every line to make sure that there's no leaks. The pool hole is well underway. The excavation is almost complete. You want to make sure that the bottom of that hole mirrors the bottom contour of the fiberglass pool, as that is basically the foundation for the entire project. We're adding stone that goes beneath the pool. So this is clean crushed stone. We place it so it's 4 inches thick, and we compact it. This ensures that the pool does not settle. We do not want to use sand or this dirt from the excavation to backfill around the outside of the pool, as that could cause issues down the road. Once that's done, we're ready to set the pool down in the hole, make sure it's nice and level. Then we can start the backfilling process. As we add stone around the outside of the pool, we fill the inside of the pool with water, and we bring them up more or less together to balance the backfill, to equalize the pressure between the water and the stone backfill material on the pool walls. Giving the pool a little cleanup here. This pool has a saltwater chlorinator. These systems convert salt that dissolves in the water into chlorine. The lines have been pressure tested. Just getting ready to start the pump and filter system as the pool is being filled the rest of the way. So now we're opening these lines up to allow for water flow. And now the team's starting to prepare for the concrete patio. They remove the subsoil, putting stone down that will be compacted. And we're just now finishing filling the pool with water. This is a very exciting moment for everybody involved because it's just been a few hours since this project was started. Now there's a pool in the backyard full of water. Put reinforcing rods in the shell to connect the pool and patio together. Got some form work happening as we prepare for a concrete collar. This pool will get a coping stone that will be mortared down around the perimeter of the pool, and that sits on a concrete foundation or a concrete collar that goes all the way around the perimeter of the pool. That's been formed and ready. The concrete truck has arrived, and now that concrete collar is being poured. You can see the skid steer is being used to transport the concrete around the perimeter of the pool. That's being placed carefully to try to minimize the amount that gets in the pool. These pools do get dirty during installation, and that's just fine. You can see the filter system's already working, so we can get the pool clean immediately and keep it that way. The collar is poured, and now we're ready to start laying coping stones around the perimeter of the pool. Just going to pop these forms off around the outside in preparation for the laying of the coping stones. You can see those are precast concrete coping stones with a nice bullnose edge. These are very hard but beautiful and durable stones that will be used around the perimeter of this pool. As those forms come off, you can see how much care has been taken to make sure that that concrete collar is straight and level. We start laying the coping stones on the corners. We get those right first, and then we'll fill in all the pieces in between. You can see we're using a wet saw that makes nice clean cuts. And we'll start with these corners. We'll get them laid off in exactly the right spot. Our coping stones will typically overhang the pool edge by about an inch or an inch and a half. That's a beautiful finish, and it also allows for an area to grab onto as you're getting in and out of the pool, or maybe if you're inside the pool and would like to have a handhold. We set up string lines along the back side of these coping stones to make sure that they're properly aligned. And the mix that we use to adhere the stones to the concrete collar is very important, as this provides adhesion and prevents the stones from popping up through freeze-thaw cycles that we can experience in Virginia. You can see that the mortar mix is very liquid. It's a very rich polymer modified mortar mix that's used, and there's a few things that you really have to get right to make sure you put coping stones down in a way that will stand the test of time. The mix is important. It's also important that the substrate, the concrete collar, and the stones themselves are not dry. If they're too dry, then it will wick the water out of the mortar, suck the water right out of it, and you won't get good adhesion between the stone and the concrete collar. So we place the mortar down. We level each stone very carefully, both front to back and side to side. We clean up that bed joint on the back side, and we finish off that area on the back side of the collar nice and flat. We work our way down the side, laying each coping stone, making sure it has a proper fit, making sure it has the right amount of overhang. It's important that you get the mortar bed at the correct thickness. It makes the leveling of the stones much easier, prevents a lot of mortar from falling down in the pool, and you can see we've got a nice straight coping edge there that follows our string line perfectly. Now we're just working back to the automatic pool cover box. You can see the wooden forms there. Those are the forms that are used to form the automatic pool cover box. You can also see the aluminum track that's resting under that coping stone. And then we finish out our coping on that side with our nice wet saw that gives us a nice clean cut. All automatic pool covers on rectangular pools have that track system that's beneath the coping. It'll also have some form of a box on the deep end of the pool. That box can be poured in concrete, which is the case here, or the box can be made of a polymer or plastic. Those forms will come off just before the automatic pool cover is installed, which will happen after we're finished laying our coping and patio. You can see we've completed one side of laying the coping. All those butt joints are nice and neat. We've kept the inside of the pool as clean as possible in this case. And you can see we're well on our way to completing this beautiful pool. After the coping is completed, we're now ready to start to prepare for the concrete patio. We start by setting a string line that establishes the outside edges of the patio and also sets the height of the top of the forms. Once that forming is done, we'll come in, we'll clean up any areas around existing structures like this. We'll install deck drain as needed. We put stone down. That prepares a solid foundation for the concrete. It also allows a capillary function that lets water move under the concrete, which is really important, that it drains well underneath the concrete. You can see that white strip there is the deck drain. That top strip will be pulled off to reveal a drain grate that allows the water to weep into that drain and then out of the side. Just finishing off the top trim piece of the deck drain there, adding a fitting, and that's where that water that's collected in the drain will be piped out. Now we're ready to start pouring the concrete patio. Our ready mix concrete truck has showed up. We pour a very high strength concrete, 4,000 psi. Has a lot of cement, which adds to the strength of the concrete. We're also careful to pour the concrete at the right consistency. If you add too much water to concrete, that water will eventually dissipate and cause more shrinkage, which can lead to more cracking in concrete. And now we're placing the concrete around this deck drain. These guys are professionals. Luckily, our team's been working together for well over a decade, approaching 2 decades. So these guys make it look easy, but this is not easy work. It's hard to create a good finish and to keep everything clean in the process because concrete is very, very messy. You can see the concrete's been placed. This is an initial finish that's being applied to this patio. You can see how much care is being taken to create a nice edge on the outside. The different tools that are used serve different purposes. Some of them force the larger aggregate down inside the concrete, and others are used to create a beautiful finish. As this concrete's being placed, you can see how much care is being taken to make sure that we're being neat and that the concrete is just leveled in a great way. We pour concrete all the way around the outside of the pool, a minimum of 8 inches thick and 12 inches wide. This tool is called a bull float, and it is used to level the concrete and push the large aggregate or stone down into the finish. That causes the cream that you can see in here to rise to the top and strengthens the concrete. We're now cleaning off any edges to remove any cream and prevent staining, and creating a nice edge with an edger there in this section along the deck drain that we saw installed earlier. This deck drain is used to collect any water that comes from splash out from the pool or from rain, collects that water and sends it off away from the pool patio. We want to try to keep as much of the area around the pool dry as possible. You can see as we place the concrete, we use a variety of tools to do that. We go back behind and we clean up all the concrete that may spill onto the coping and any existing patio spaces. That keeps everything nice and clean. You can see the control joints are starting to be tooled into place. These control joints actually create perforations in the concrete, so when the concrete cracks, because it always does as it shrinks, the concrete will hopefully crack in those joints and stay nice and straight as opposed to seeing a crack in another area of the patio. Once this concrete is finished, this is just an initial finish. They're just finishing placing the concrete, completing those control joints around the outside. And now, after all the concrete's placed, finished, and all the control joints are installed, we're ready to create the stamp finish on top. This is called textured concrete. You can see the stamp pattern being applied there. We use a liquid release agent that allows us to stamp the concrete without the use of a powdered release, which can be very messy around swimming pools. And it gives the entire finish of the pool a beautiful, seamless jumbo stone pattern. We've used this finish for well over a decade. We do not add color to the concrete. It's normal gray concrete, and we do not seal the concrete. And this allows us to offer this product at a very good price when compared to stamped concrete, and it's not that much more than a broom finish would be on a concrete patio. This is why so many of our customers over the years have chosen to go with textured concrete. And once that pattern is applied, there's no more cleanup required. There's no powder that gets everywhere. There's no sealing. There's no power washing. The finish is ready, just like if it were a broom or brush finish concrete. You can see we're removing the forms from the concrete now. These forms will be stripped away, cleaned up, and we're left with a beautiful finished concrete patio. We have our pool cleaned up now. Our patio's finished. And you can see how beautiful that finish is. Sometimes the dirt stays on site like this. Sometimes we haul it away. Now we're ready to do a rough grade around the outside of the pool patio. We're ready to get the pool cleaned up, ready to get the yard graded. You can see it's time for some finishing touches. We've got a handrail that will go in the handrail anchor there. We've got team members specifically trained that have been doing all aspects of these projects for many, many years. As we go through this, we're cleaning the pool, we're detailing every aspect of it. We're adding salt to the water. Many people love saltwater pools because the chlorine, even though it's present, typically does not burn your eyes, does not smell bad, and saltwater pools are typically easier to maintain with higher water quality, although it's really important that you continue to check your water chemistry on a weekly basis. Just finishing off the grade around this beautiful pool to get everything ready for seed and straw, and after just a few weeks we have a pool that's finished and ready to swim. Now we can see a beautiful finished pool, cleaned, detailed, that gives a nice finished look in this beautiful backyard. We're so happy to have the opportunity to work with this wonderful customer and help them achieve the pool of their dreams. And now our friend there is especially happy. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks.